Hey, my name is Greg Lawrence. I'm an instructional technology coach for the Wentzville School District. I'm so glad I'm able to join in today. We're not necessarily face to face. I guess we're kind of face to face, just virtually. But I want to share some cool things that we're doing across our district. Some great things you can do with just some simple technology tools in a makerspace that gives your students the ability to create. So here's one little secret. I'm actually in my boss's office at the moment. He's out today. The good thing is he'll never know that I was in his office recording this video. So here's kind of the deal. So what I want to share with you is a site called Pixel Press, and this is actually an app for the iPad. It currently only works on the iPad. Now they're working on providing this app for Android and iPhones, but currently it's only available for iPad. So I want to get that out of the way. The really cool thing about Pixel Press is it's by a company that is from St. Louis. So props to them for being in Missouri, being in St. Louis, but they're downtown St. Louis, kind of right next to Scottrade, kind of right near where the Blues play. So very, very cool to see them kind of get started with this app. So what is this app? So essentially what happens is I've got a piece of paper here, and it's blank. It's kind of grid. Well, mine's not blank, but when you print it out, it will be blank. And there's these grids, and what's great is they have this key that you can use. And on that key, you can have, X's for spikes or a ladder. You can have, these slash lines that are right here. Let's try to do this backwards. There we go. Right there, so that means lava. And essentially what your students are doing is they're building levels for a game. So they have level first floor, second floor, third floor, and these are the different levels. And what's cool about it is based on your students' drawings, they're building a game that other students can play. So that's kind of the really cool thing with this is it allows, and I know I did that as a kid. I drew all the time, and I'm like, oh, this was the maze that I was going to draw. What's cool about it is your students are actually doing that with kind of this analog, and then they bring in the iPad and bring apart this digital piece to it. So I'm going to go a little more into detail here in a moment and kind of how this works. But essentially your students are going to draw on this grid. They're going to draw out their game, draw out their levels, and then they're going to use the iPad to scan it in and play their game. So I'm going to switch screens for just a moment, and then you're going to be able to see kind of the process of how you build this game. So here I am on my iPad, and I want you to see there's an app right there called Floors, and if you click on Floors, this gives your students the ability to create their game based on that grid that I just showed you, that little graphing sheet. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Floors, and when Floors is going to ask me a couple questions, and it takes a second to load, so just be aware of that. It's going to ask me if I want to play or create, so I'm going to go ahead and click on Create. So I want to create. And you can see all the games that I've created so far. And then you can see at the top left there it says Start New Level. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Start New Level. And what's great about this is I can draw in an app. So I can draw in the app and use my hand, or from the paper, which you saw earlier, which is what I'm going to do. Or you can use a template. So you can use something that's already been pre-created and do that. So I'm going to go ahead and click on From Paper. And when I launch From Paper, it's looking, so I'm just going to highlight over here. And essentially what I'm going to do is try to line up this image with the picture. And here in just a second, I should be pretty close. There it goes. So once it grabs a picture, you're going to see all the colors shoot out. And like I said, this can be a little tough sometimes because it does... the older the iPad, the slower it is, and you've got to hit the colors just right, or the angles there, so it takes a photo. Once it takes a photo, it starts scanning it in. You get to see the different levels come across. And what's great about this is if you looked at my graphing sheet, everything matches almost identically to each other, which is great. And the cool part is if I did make a mistake, I can easily zoom in on the paper and then use the eraser or the pencil to draw those things on there. Once you've corrected your design, there's a button up at the top in the center that says design, and this is great. I always have conversations, especially just, and I don't want to say just girls in general, girl students, but we always talk about design, and game design and maker design doesn't necessarily have to be done by guys. The video games, it can be done by girls also. And we always have that question, discussion about fashion. And what's great about this is we can go in there and select the background, and we get to talk about colors and things like that. So the cool thing is game design, as they learn through this maker and this design, is they see all the elements that come into this. It's not just video coding design, but there's also this element of choosing colors and making sure the colors look great. So I'm going to click Save the Parents. That's going to be the level I want. So that becomes what I choose. And each icon down the bottom left changes my kind of view of it. So I kind of want this woody area, so I'm going to click on that. Then I get to choose my blocks, so I could put red in here, and as we look at this may be a little too harsh. So let's try blue, or let's try this green right here. And that's the cool thing, is we get to have these discussions on what looks best for this design. So let's say we leave it here. Let's use the yellow. Then the lava. So the lava I'm going to make red, so that have that contrast there. Then we get to pick the coins, and that's another great piece there. So here's my coins that I get to use. Choose kind of my portal doors. I like this dog door right here, so we're going to do purple. And then I get to choose my music, and then I get to choose my character. And as I look through here, I think I want Wi-Fi, so I'm going to choose Wi-Fi as my character. And what's great about this is there is my game all designed, and I can always come back and change and set different things. When I'm finished, I just hit the play button, which is that triangle there in the center. And what's great is now I am playing my game. And it's very, kind of 1985-ish with Super Mario Brothers. But that's kind of the fun part, is that our students are actually designing. So here's my arrows, as you can see on the bottom left-hand corner. And then I have my AB there. So I'm jumping, grabbing my coins, and I jump through. And everything that I drew on the game essentially is coming to life on here. So as I see that these are blocks that fall, there's my spikes up there. If I want to go down the ladder, which I drew on there, I can go down the ladder and see what's down there. So there's some coins. Let's jump up. Oop, there's some more falling blocks. We jump over there. And apparently I forgot something, so I need to go find, there's my bomb over there. So I come over here, drop my bomb. There we go. I should go hide very quickly. There we are. Yay. And I jump into my level, and I get to go to the next level. So I know that was a quick demo of that game, but just wanted you to see kind of how that worked, and just see the all the skills that allows your students to, just the creativity behind it, this collaboration where they can work with a partner, or this idea of failing and letting them learn from their experiences about, that didn't quite work, that level was too hard, almost impossible to beat, those types of things. It was really cool to see that, see those pieces come across as your students work with that. So my time, I guess, has come to an end here. So I'm going to show you one quick little video that we created. We worked with some middle school students. They did this in a class. And I want you to see kind of from a student's perspective of what he thought and what he learned through creating with Pixel Press. So hope to see you and talk to you later. If you ever need to get a hold of me, I put my email and Twitter down below, and I know Kelly provided that also, but you'll have access to get a hold of me, and if I can help with anything, let me know. But I hope you enjoy this little video regarding just kind of our students' perspective on this game. See you guys later.
In floors, the first thing you had to do was you had to draw all the levels out, and that was the hardest part, because when I made my level, it was hard for me to do it because it wasn't how it was supposed to be, and I didn't have all my lines straight. And when I put it in, it was a lot different than what I planned it to be. And that was the hardest part, because when I made my level, it was hard for me to do it because it wasn't how it was supposed to be, and I didn't have all my lines straight. And when I put it in, it was a lot different than what I planned it to be. Use a ruler so that way you make all your lines straight. If you don't have your lines straight, the game won't register right, and it'll be really different than what you planned it to be. It was really cool because it didn't take that much time, and it was really cool just to watch it load up. It would just take block by block and put it in.